What's good, YouTube? You
It's us.
It's your boy Mario, you know what I'm saying? I'm back with another video. It's Juice, another little reaction, you feel me? 3 cold cases solved in 2024. Man, you gotta watch True Crime, like, and subscribe. I'm gonna keep dropping almost every day, you know what I'm saying? We trying to run this shit up, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, let's get it. Alright, y'all, let's get into it.
Autumn Lane McClure was a 16-year-old girl living with her grandmother in Ormond Beach, Florida. She was studying at Mainland High School. On May 10th, 2004, Autumn's grandmother called the sheriff's office to report her missing after she didn't return home that day. Autumn was last seen with her boyfriend. Police questioned the boyfriend, who told them that he had dropped Autumn off at the Volusia Mall and had not seen her since. A search was launched for the missing teenager, but nothing turned up.
It always be the boyfriend. Like, why y'all be so damn delusional at a young age, man? That shit be crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Ain't no poom poom gonna make a nigga that crazy. In my opinion, though. My opinion.
Sometime afterward, Autumn's grandmother told detectives that Autumn had called her from a different area code, and she had received some letters from Autumn postmarked from Melbourne, Florida, claiming that she was okay and would return home after she turned 18. The case went quiet, but a while later, detectives received information that Autumn was staying at a house with 2 people, Brian Donnelly and Jessica Freeman. When detectives went to the couple's home, they said that Autumn had stayed with them for a few days and then left. They said that they were co-workers of Autumn's at the Winn-Dixie supermarket. They told detectives that Autumn did not get along with her grandmother and that they had allowed her to stay in their trailer for a couple of days but did not know anything else. The case then went cold. However, detectives continued working, obtaining DNA from family members and entering it into a national database for missing children. The case remained cold until 12 years later, when detectives again contacted the boyfriend. This time, Autumn's boyfriend claimed that he had lied to them about dropping her off at the Volusia Mall. He said that he had actually dropped her off at the Seabreeze Bridge, where she had then gotten into a car with Jessica.
What I tell y'all, that nigga lied. How I knew it was the boyfriend off the rip. Come on now. Niggas be tripping.
Detectives tracked down Jessica, who was now living in Nevada. She claimed she did not know anything about Autumn's disappearance. Detectives caught a break when a tipster told police that both Freeman and Donnelly were involved in Autumn's disappearance. The police questioned Freeman again, who this time asked for immunity in exchange for her answering questions. Freeman told detectives that she had...
And you know what's crazy? This girl probably did need a place to stay at too, bro. And then you fuck around, ask the room people, bro, like these people right here, bro, I'm telling you.
Worked with Autumn, and that she and Donnelly allowed her to stay with them at her trailer. Freeman said that she had been in a sexual relationship with the couple. Freeman told investigators that one day she returned home to see Donnelly allegedly choking Autumn in the bathroom. She recalls that she was unable to save Autumn and that she left the trailer where the 3 had lived. When she returned 2 weeks later and inquired about what had happened to Autumn, Donnelly allegedly told her, "Shut up, or the same thing will happen to you." Over the years, Donnelly allegedly told Freeman several times about how he had, quote, cut Autumn up and buried her. She said that she did not know where Donnelly had buried her body. But in late 2023, Freeman told authorities that she believes Autumn's body was buried beneath the trailer, as Donnelly had expressed satisfaction at the fact that new concrete had been poured on the site. Using ground-penetrating radar, authorities searched the surface. They found spots of different density than the surrounding soil. Subsequently, authorities worked with the new owner of the trailer on the property to excavate the remains. In February of 2024, authorities recovered what they say is 99.9% of Autumn's remains. These were
You had the right idea, but you just need to shut the fuck up, twin. You would have got away if you would have just shut the fuck up, twin. That's why some of y'all niggas can't be killers for that reason, bro. Y'all got y'all mouth too wide, bro. Y'all talk too much. Shit just be crazy, bro.
Taken to the medical examiner
He
to
snitched on
confirm her
himself.
identification. Despite Autumn's remains finally being found, Donnelly could not be charged as he had died in 2022. In May
Well, that nigga's already got justice, huh?
1974, Connecticut State Police received a tip about 2 murders that had occurred at a home on Shoeville Road in Ledyard, Connecticut. Investigators searched the house and the surrounding area. They soon found decomposed bodies of a man and a woman in 2 shallow graves several hundred feet behind the house. The man would later be identified as convicted serial bank robber Gustavus Lee Carmichael, who had escaped from custody. He had committed multiple bank robberies across the nation, and in 1970, he was apprehended for the theft of $60,000 from a bank in New Jersey. Additionally, throughout his lifetime, he faced convictions for various offenses, such as burglary, kidnapping, attempted burglary, grand larceny, assault and battery, and armed robbery.
My nigga was living. My nigga was. Fuck it. That's what he woke up every day and thought. Fuck it. That nigga woke up and took the risk.
However, in October of 1970, during his transfer from a Massachusetts jail to a federal court in Hartford, Connecticut, he and another inmate managed to escape custody, prompting the FBI to issue a federal warrant for his arrest. While on the run, he would eventually meet a woman, and they began to go by the names Dirk and Lorraine Stahl. They were staying at the home of Richard De Freitas and Donald Brandt, fellow bank robbers. De Freitas.
I do got a question though, like, what is that picture like? Is that supposed to be like what actually what the female that he was messing with looked like though? Cause whoever sketched that shit up. And if a nigga actually found her, y'all niggas some geniuses, bro.
And Brandt possessed several safe houses utilized to harbor fugitives evading law enforcement. Nonetheless, the woman, Lorraine Stahl, confided in De Freitas' wife that she was afraid of the lifestyle they were leading. When De Freitas learned about her fears, he told Brandt, and they decided to eliminate Carmichael and the woman, fearing that her potential capture could lead to the exposure of their illicit operations. Given the perceived difficulty of eliminating just the woman without Carmichael's likely intervention,
That's probably what happens to a lot of people though, for real. A lot of people gotta get cut, bro. Y'all be in too deep, bro, and your peoples don't think you can really make it to this certain point that they finna push up on. So they like, man, yo, we gotta cut him or cut him out. And most times, they gotta cut you out, twin. They can't just drop you from the mission, twin. They just gotta.
opted to murder Carmichael as well. Investigators believed Carmichael and the woman were killed on December 31st, 1970, 4 years before being found. De Freitas and Brandt fatally shot Carmichael and the woman, then dumped their bodies, which remained undiscovered for more than 3 years. Richard De Freitas and Donald Brandt were eventually convicted of the murders and have since died. Even though the man was identified, the woman who was shot was never given a name, as she'd used an alias that was never verified. Before going by the name of Lorraine Stahl, she was known to use the names Connie and Sandy, and was known to drive around in a 1964 green Oldsmobile with either Massachusetts or Maine plates. The car was eventually found dumped in Hartford with a Maine registration sticker on the license plate. She was also known to have possibly worked in New York City. After the bodies were discovered, police found clothes and jewelry with the woman's remains, including a tan leather, quote, wet look vest, a gold or tan sweater, a brown tweed skirt, and a brown pair of so-called granny boots. She was also wearing a pendant and various rings, according to the state police. She had on her a class ring, which had the letters JHSN inscribed on it, alongside the initials ILN and the year 1917. Lorraine Stahl would go unidentified for 50 years. Her case was entered into the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System in 2011 and CODIS in 2012, but she remained unidentified. Then, in 2022, DNA samples were sent to Orthram Labs, and they were able to build a DNA profile of the victim. In January of 2024, the profile helped to find a connection with the victim's sister. They also found out that the victim had a daughter, and she provided DNA samples. Soon, Lorraine Stahl was identified as Linda Sue Childers. Childers was born September 4th, 1946.
She was very young. Can I say that?
And was originally from Louisville, Kentucky. Her sister and daughter were notified of her identification, and the case was considered solved after more than 50 years.
Why they always
How many times have I told you, knock on the door before you come in? How hard is...
Pussy. Kelly
Ann
Workman
Workman was a 24-year-old woman living with her parents in Douglas County, Missouri. Described as quiet, independent, and determined, she was the daughter of dairy farmers and often helped on the farm. To make extra money, she provided lawn care.
I'm telling you, she probably pulling hell of niggas back then, like independent, strong, like you doing all that, girl, like what?
And maintenance services, often completing house and yard work for people in the Dogwood area. On June 30th, 1989, Kelly was mowing the grass at Dogwood Cemetery, adjoining the Pleasant Southern Baptist Church. Kelly was meticulous about her work, clipping along the rows of headstones before using trimmers to cut the individual stray blades from around each marker. She began her work at 3:30 p.m., and at around 5 p.m. it started raining. So Kelly went home to feed the calves while her parents milked the cows at their rented Seymour farm. When the rain stopped at 5:40, Kelly was back at the cemetery. Her uncle saw her mowing as he drove past the lot on Missouri 14 in Douglas County. This was the last time Kelly was ever seen alive. 20 minutes later, with less than half of the job completed, it appears that Kelly left the mower beside a tombstone and disappeared from the cemetery. When she failed to return home for dinner later that night, her parents became worried and reported her missing to the police. However, police told her parents to wait, as they suggested Kelly might have run away. Her parents vehemently disagreed, as Kelly was dependable and would not...
Wow. How does a grown person run away? I think we need to take that away from, we need to take running away out of the context for, a certain age limit. I feel like you can only run away if you're a kid, because you running away from everything that you need. But as an adult, you running away from, you're not even running, nigga. You just dumb as hell at that point, because you know that you're running away from it. I don't know, I don't know I don't know what I'm trying to say. I know what I'm trying to say, but I don't know how to fucking say it. But you feel me, as an adult, you just running away from your problems. You're not even running away from, the shit that you need. You're running away from your problems.
Would have left her work unfinished, nor would she have left her tools simply sitting out in the cemetery. Her parents and friends organized their own searches, and soon, despite suggesting that Kelly had run away, the police launched their own county-wide search in and around Douglas. Kelly's 1986 Oldsmobile was soon found in the church connected to the cemetery's parking lot with its key in the ignition. For several days, the search involved hundreds of volunteers, as well as scent tracking dogs and helicopters, which scoured the countryside. However, nothing would be found. Then, 7 days later, on July 7th, a farmer and his son in nearby Christian County stumbled upon Kelly's remains, submerged in water from the waist down. Her body was found about 10 miles from where she disappeared. She was found fully clothed, but so badly decomposed that it took dental records to identify her. How she died remains murky. Her death certificate merely lists, quote, homicidal violence. Authorities believe that Kelly was abducted from the cemetery with the motive of sexual assault. However, at the time, the autopsy stated she was not sexually assaulted. It was only more recently that investigators confirmed Kelly was indeed sexually assaulted.
Freak ass nigga. A nigga, you went to the cemetery, took a person out of the cemetery, tied him up and had sex with him, killed him, and put him in water.
They say she probably died in the early hours of July 1st.
Sick.
However, due to the advanced state of decomposition, they could neither determine the time nor the cause of death. Kelly's mother, Joan Workman, believes she knows the exact moment Kelly died. She said that after reporting her daughter missing on July 1st at 3:30 a.m., as she sat on the living room couch and worried about Kelly with family and friends, she felt a surge of panic and pain in her chest. She says that she thought to herself, quote, hang on, Kelly, hang on. But then she says the feeling passed, leaving her, as she described, feeling dead inside. Kelly's body was interred at the Dogwood Cemetery, which she so lovingly helped maintain. Kelly's parents harbored frustration towards the Douglas County Sheriff's Department, feeling that had the police treated the case with the gravity it deserved from the onset, there might have been a chance to save Kelly. Their anger stemmed partially from the police's failure to dust Kelly's 1986 Oldsmobile Cutlass for fingerprints. Moreover, they expressed disappointment that crucial pieces of information, such as reports of a screaming woman, were overlooked amid the chaos of the initial night. A few months later, Kelly's mother learned that 4 days after Kelly's abduction, an anonymous caller reached out to her home, leaving a...
Imagine it. Imagine your killer. Imagine your daughter killer call your phone to him. Nigga, you got nuts. Nigga, you was a psycho. Okay, we're not dealing with a killer, nigga. We're dealing with a psycho. You feel me? Like, a psychotic ass nigga. We gonna need the police on this shit right now. Right fucking now. This shit ain't no game. Nigga, you killed somebody. I know it. I know it. You gonna call me?
Message with another family member regarding a sighting of someone at the Workman residence on the afternoon of the abduction. Surprisingly, the caller did not reach out to any law enforcement agencies involved in the investigation. Joan believes that her daughter might have known her abductor or abductors. A reward of $10,000 was offered. Police questioned several suspects over the years, but no one was ever charged. There were two suspects who were repeatedly questioned in Kelly's murder, Dwight and Bobby Banks. Dwight and Bobby Banks were two brothers who had been pulled over by a Missouri Highway Patrol officer in 1990 as they were traveling down the highway in a pickup truck on the night of Kelly's disappearance. It is unclear why they were initially suspected in Kelly's murder, but Dwight Banks was asked by police to take a polygraph test regarding the murder, and he agreed to take it. He reportedly passed the test. A few years later, Dwight, alongside his brother Bobby, again became suspects after Dwight reportedly confessed to several people that he murdered Kelly. In a 1995 article from the Springfield News Leader, it was reported that Dwight had confessed multiple times to killing Kelly. However, he later asserted that these...
See, boy, back in the day, they was probably on that shit. Nigga, if you said anything, boy, your word was your word, nigga. It ain't like how it is nowadays, nigga. It ain't no, them niggas just playing. Them niggas ain't no, Them niggas ain't no killers, bro. Nah. Nigga, if you would kill a nigga, you would kill her back then, nigga. You said you killed, nigga, you killed, nigga. That's who you was, nigga. There wasn't no playing back then, boy.
Confessions were made in jest, attributing them to him being under the influence of alcohol at the time. Dwight admitted that he and Bobby saw Kelly just a few hours before she was abducted, when she had been working. But he said he did not kill her. Dwight Banks added that his brother, Bobby, is also innocent. At the time of Kelly's disappearance, Dwight Banks told the news leader that he and Bobby were at his house eating fried chicken. However, the newspaper The News Leader also reported that authorities have been told that Dwight Banks may have taken drugs before the 1990 polygraph examination, which he had passed. Later, Dwight's brother, Bobby, asked an ex-girlfriend of his to provide an alibi for him for the evening Kelly went missing, which she later reported to police. It was reported that Bobby Banks failed the polygraph test, which Dwight Banks attributed to his brother's frail emotions. 9 years later, the Missouri Highway Patrol Crime Lab issued a warrant for 2 men, one of which was Dwight, seeking DNA evidence allegedly connecting him to the killing. However, the test did not yield any conclusive findings. On February 20th, 2024, authorities said at a news conference that 3 men had been arrested and indicted on charges of first-degree murder, along with charges of forcible rape and first-degree kidnapping. The 3 men were identified as Wiley Belt and the initial suspects, brothers Dwight Banks and Bobby Banks.
I couldn't imagine being caught at an old age like that. Like, imagine. These niggas is on their last straw. They already dead, nigga. What? You still trying to... These niggas is already about dead. Why the fuck is you still trying to fuck with these old niggas, bro? About some old work they done did back in the past, man. That girl family probably don't even really know her like that no more. They just know of her. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to disrespect Twin, but like, come on, Twin. Y'all niggas doing that for y'all job now. Y'all just doing that because y'all niggas just bored.
Investigators say the case was cracked wide open by an eyewitness, someone brave in the community who had come forward, giving them evidence they needed to take the case to a grand jury. All 3 men were in their mid-60s at the time of their arrest. Currently, the Banks brothers, alongside Belt, are being held at the Douglas County Jail in Ava. Each is remanded on a $250,000 cash bond. If you...
That is the end of the vid, Twin. Them old niggas is crazy, Twin. I ain't gonna lie. But if you like that vid, if you like this video, you know what I'm saying, like, comment, subscribe, you know what I'm saying. Tell me which one was your favorite one. Tell me which one was the craziest one. In my opinion, the best one was the last one. Like, comment, subscribe. It's Juice, baby. We going.